Classroom Myths and Fallacies. A reflection by Dr. Sameh A.Galil. Like any other human endeavor, the educational field is replete with fallacies and myths. Any sincere attempt at good practice and education reform should start with uncovering the fallacies and dismantling the myths. The job sometimes seems daunting, yet is worth the effort. The question of how much teaching takes place in class has always intrigued me. It started with legitimate probing questions and tools measuring input, and ended with questioning the entire process and thinking of more befitting names and labels. The polarity of teaching and learning comes readily to mind. The question of whether teachers only give and students only take remains unanswered. We teachers are so preoccupied with policy and procedure that matters of speculation and reflection become for us the business of dreamers and philosophers. The obsession with knowledge imparting is such that the epistemological how takes precedence over the ontological what, hence the dilemma of compromising the valuable long term for the convenience and expediency of the petty short term. Perpetuating the myth that teaching is a one-way street with teachers put on a pedestal as the exclusive proprietors and dispensers of meaning and knowledge should really stop. This perpetual myth-making and comfort zoning leave teachers with no choice but to assume the roles of preachers on pulpits. If a preacher gives his congregation the chance to take part in the sermon by tolerating instant feedback on what he says and takes for granted as truth and nothing but the truth, our teacher-preacher would tolerate the realignment and reassignment of class roles and priorities. In a world and age in which people are reconsidering once upon a time undisputed truths and convictions, teachers are invited to step down from their pulpits and mix with their congregations. In fact, the myths of teacher sovereignty and ascendancy should give way to realism and democracy in class. Teachers should adopt a grassroots approach to what once was teaching. After all, conventional wisdom has it that you either change or get changed. The obsolete classification of class demographics into teachers and students should now be a thing of the past. If looked upon from what I deem the right end of perspective, a class population of 26 members has 25 teachers and 1 student. The teacher is a man speaking to men, no sexism intended. As much as he or she inspires, he or she gets inspired. As much as he gives, he or she takes. As much as he or she teaches, he or she learns. A tantalizing reversal of roles in the interest of engagement and better delivery can work wonders and leave everyone happy. Students are more creative and more responsible than what their teachers give them credit for. They bring excellent insights and formidable experiences to the classroom. If you cannot unleash and transform the potentials of your students, don't at least underestimate or undermine them.